Hello, Art. Welcome to the show. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Let us start with some information about yourself so that everyone can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. I'm Art Martinez, and I'm a native Austinite, and went to school here, went to UT, and
What was your degree in at UT?
my degree was advertising.
Huh.
Yeah, I was in the graphic. Started out as a graphic designer, actually, and I was originally in architectural engineering on scholarship, and that didn't work out very well. But I was able to get enough, core classes
Mm-hmm.
out of the way, and then kind of floundered around. Thought about. I think I was undecided for a year, if not longer, and then went into advertising. I think I always originally wanted to go into advertising or architecture, and so went the advertising direction.
Was
And,
advertising part of the business school?
no, it was part of communications.
Oh, that's right. I knew
Yeah.
that. I used to work at UT and we worked on
Yeah.
the student catalogs. I knew that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a speech, RTF, advertising, and can't remember. I think there was another one. So yeah. Oh,
That's all right.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Who
We
is
roll with the
calling me?
punches here.
Oh, it's my friend.
You can pause if you need to.
No,
There'll probably be a cat jump up here in a minute.
that's fine.
It's all good.
So yeah, and I was. It took me 5 years to graduate. I was in the Longhorn band.
Oh,
and
what'd you play?
Saxophone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was fun, but it kind of wasn't that serious about school. So
Mhm.
took the 5 year route, and not that bad. And
No.
and then after that, went to join some roommates of mine. They wanted to start a business, and went to Columbus, Ohio. So I joined them just because I wasn't doing anything
Mhm.
after school, and so I was there for 2 years. Got to experience 4 seasons,
Right.
and snow, which is really pretty when it falls, but then the next day it's disgusting. And so that was fun. And then after 2 years, just came back to Austin, and yeah, I've
Cool.
been here.
The cat is scratching in the litter box over there,
Okay,
so that's a lot
cool.
of fun. He's
All right.
contributing to the show as well.
Yeah.
Were your parents both from Austin? How
They were both from Austin.
Wow. multi-generational?
Yeah. Now I don't really know about my grandfathers, but my grandmothers were both from Mexico. Um, my dad's mom was from Monterey, and my mom's mom was from the coast, the Gulf of Mexico. And but yeah, my mom, they they lived over where, I don't know if you're familiar with the French Legation.
Yeah.
So they lived like on 8th Street,
Mhm.
and in one of those old Victorian houses, and so that's where we kind of spent our summers growing up, at my grandmother's house, and
That's neat.
yeah, and pretty much, spent a lot of time downtown.
Mhm.
My grandfather, who I never met, he was the head tailor at Scarborough's downtown,
Oh, wow.
the big department store. So they just they pretty much lived downtown. Just
Mhm.
we go to the movie theaters downtown, and do all of our shopping downtown, and
It's fun to think of a time when
yeah,
I'm just gonna say it. Real people live downtown, and
Yeah.
and like you could have your whole lives down there, and
Yeah.
whatever fun you wanted to have was in the area, and it was
Yeah.
affordable.
Yeah, and or you could even just walk to a little,
Yeah, just walk
a little
around.
grocery store just down the street, and it was a great place to grow up. And we'd ride the buses, and everything was just. You could even walk downtown.
Yeah.
It was really everything was very safe. Um, so. I grew up really loving the city, and yeah, I miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we live in the suburbs, and
Yeah.
you don't really can't walk anywhere really. But
Right. Did you bring any other interesting facts about yourself that you'd like to share? I don't know exactly. I said 3, but I don't know how many we covered in
you said
what we
3.
said.
So I was going to say, well, you and I talked about it earlier. My husband and I met in 1992 on a blind date, and so we've been together since 92.
Where was the blind date? Where did you go?
It was at a restaurant called Mother's
Oh yeah.
in Hyde Park.
Uh-huh.
And hey, Kat. Yeah,
Like
and
the vegan place, right? It was the
it was a vegan place,
Yeah.
and they had a great like a vegetarian salad, some kind of a dish. I don't even remember what was in it, but it was something that that everybody really liked. So it was a good place to go. And then we hit it off talking about tennis. We were both tennis players at the time, and
My son plays tennis.
and yeah, and so we hit it off, and
That's awesome.
it was actually a friend of mine had met him, and wanted to set us up. So
Cool.
yeah,
I think when I moved to Austin, I think the very first restaurant I ate at with my girlfriend at the time, I think it was Mother's.
yeah. Everybody used to go. It was kind
Yeah.
of a dive, and they had
Yeah,
that
it was
back
kind of-
patio,
yeah, the little back area.
garden area,
Mhm.
yeah, and yeah, but it was cheap, and it was good, and it was kind of that Austin counterculture kind of type
Yeah.
place. So yeah, yeah, it's not there anymore.
So I'm trying to do quick math here. Hey, so you guys have been together for 34 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he works in San Antonio, so we've it's a situation that works for us.
Mhm.
So we used to. He's in academia, so he used to teach. He used to teach world history. Now he's a dean at the San Antonio College in San Antonio. So he used to have the summers off, and then the whole month of December off for the most
Yeah.
part. And so we spent a lot of time together then, but now he's kind of on a regular schedule, like we are. So we don't really get to take the vacations that we used to.
Yeah.
And but it works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is that 2 of the 3? Do you have a third one?
I did have a third one. So one was that I played saxophone, and I was actually really good in high school. I was all state.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it was kind of it wasn't jazz. It was just kind of like classical
Mm-hmm.
saxophone. And I always wished I could play. I couldn't ad lib. That was always something that
yeah.
You go to a jazz club and you hear a great saxophone player, and they can just get up there and just start
Yeah.
ad-libbing and going at it, and it just sounds great. Never could do that. I think it's a really special talent when people can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got really devoted to the saxophone and practiced my butt off. And those last 2 years was really good. And
Did you go to UT on any kind of scholarship?
No, I could have. My band director was ready to sign a scholarship, the paperwork for me to become a band director, and I was like, I mean, it would have been a 4-year scholarship, but I just didn't want to become a band director. So, and now all of my friends who were band directors, they're no longer band directors. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty tough. It's a pretty tough job.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah, a lot of hours, and just dealing with a lot of personalities. Well, just like any teaching job is. So.
Does when you were at UT, does a particular game stand out in your mind? Like if you went somewhere and performed at halftime or whatever? Or
actually, it was my freshman year. The first away game was at Arkansas, and that's back when Texas was in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah,
and Arkansas was just kind of had a mystique about it because it was such a rivalry. And
probably after A&M and Oklahoma, that was Texas. That was a big rivalry.
It was a very good rivalry, a mean rivalry, and those fans were so obnoxious and they hated us. And we were under a tornado warning during the game, and they were throwing bottles at us.
Oh
and
my gosh!
The fans there were just horrible. It was a great introduction though to the world of college football.
Yeah. Do you still hear people calling the Hogs in your sleep?
A friend of mine went to school there, or she's from there, and she does follow them. But I kind of admire Arkansas now. It's kind of like, y'all are really cool.
Yeah.
And they have these hog hats, they call them. I want a hog hat so bad, but I'm sure I could just get on Amazon and just get one. But I would love to find one.
Well, I hope to one day see you strolling into work with that on your head.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Hat. Yeah, it's kind of like the cheese head.
Yeah. Okay, Art, we have arrived at the moment of truth. Time for you to choose your question out of this box of questions. So if you can choose it and then not look at it, but let me read it to you.
Oh, okay. So I can't make it up.
Exactly. It's not like, what instrument did I play at UT? Yeah. All right. There are 53 questions in there. This is number 35. The question is, what is one of the most gratifying things you've ever done?
Gratifying.
However you want to interpret that word.
Yeah. I'm going to say traveling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We haven't traveled much since COVID. We just haven't been able to. But we used to try to go to Europe every summer, and for about 10, 15 years. My favorite place is Rome. I think I've been to Rome 5 times.
Wow.
There's just always stuff to see, and it's like every church has a masterpiece. Every church has a Caravaggio, every church has a Bernini, and then the museums, and just being able to walk around. I think I've mentioned walking several times today, but just being able to walk around and just the vibe there is just, I just love it. I would love to retire and live in Rome. I think it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's one of those things that sounds like it would be a lot of fun, but once you do it, you realize it's a mistake. But yeah, I just always just love going to Europe, especially Italy. We did go to Venice one time, and that was not really our cup of tea. Although we discovered Campari there, and so it was they were having a heat wave in June, and 100 degrees on an unair conditioned train. It's just not, they're not built for that. And so yeah, we did discover Campari on that trip.
My kid's mom and I, a few years ago, we went to Italy. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
And we went to Rome, and then Florence, and then Venice. And our experience in Venice sounds kind of similar to yours. It was definitely third of the three.
Yeah.
As far as how much we liked it.
Yeah.
Rome it's one of those places, at least for me. I know there are places in the world that actually exist, but it seems almost fictional.
Yeah.
And then you're standing there and you're going, oh, this was real all along.
Mm.
And everything about it is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's literally layers of history on the street. It's just amazing how much there is to see there.
What kind of balance do you strike when you've been there before? What kind of balance have you struck between doing kind of the big touristy things and then maybe doing some, more like local non-touristy things?
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, there's always, it just depends on how long it's been. For example, how long it's been since we've been to a certain museum, or there's always going to be a certain few things that we'll always go see, like the Pantheon, or there's certain churches that we like to go to every time, and then we'll also try to discover other places that we've never seen. I mean, there's churches on every corner, and like I said, there's masterpieces in every church.
Yeah, just litter the city with masterpieces everywhere.
And so there's always something new to see, not new to new to
right.
us, but and then there's still museums that we've never been to, and we're getting more adventurous, I think, in our old age as far as trying, restaurants that are kind of off the beaten path. We even one year we went to Naples, which is not. It's becoming more tourist friendly, I think.
That's where Tony Soprano's from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His
family.
Good show. And that was fun. We were scared stiff because we just it's scary because the mob is there, and
right.
And you definitely feel it, but just the flavor of just the vibe, just everything about Naples was so cool. We'd like to go back someday.
So why did you answer traveling to the question? Why is it the most gratifying for you?
Just because maybe let's see, maybe I'm misinterpreting the word gratifying. I just find it to be so something that I never thought I was going to be able to do in life, and I just find it so I was actually, you said for something inspirational, and I was actually going to go with traveling for that response, but
would you use the word edifying? It's edifying.
If I it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just very. Not just from the historical standpoint, but from the art standpoint, I just find it very. I mean, to me, it's gratifying. It's just very. It's just, some of the greatest art ever created, and it's just so. Just exciting to experience it, So.
Is there a spiritual component to that for you?
There is. I was raised Catholic, but not really. I'd mentioned my parents were divorced, so we were not big churchgoers. Yeah, I walk into some of these old Catholic churches, and I just get emotional,
Yeah.
And then and if it's not for the spiritual aspect of it, the artwork,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably a side of it,
Yeah.
part of it.
I was raised in church, a very small Protestant kind of thing. And that's not been a part of my life for a while. But even today, if I walk into a historical church,
Mm-hmm.
I feel moved.
Yeah.
And it's the sense of tapping into something that's larger than oneself. It's also just the majesty of the building.
Yeah.
They knew how to build something that would be awe-inspiring. And you're right, and the art that's included is just incredible. How well do you and John travel together? Are you good travel companions?
Good. We are good travel companions.
That's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it is. And since he used to teach world history, having him as my guide
Oh yeah.
through through the Roman Forum and explaining everything. I mean,
Mhm.
he finds that gratifying, and I'm coming at it from the art standpoint. I love art, and not me, but artwork, and there Rome is mostly, I think, Baroque, but the Bernini and the Caravaggios and Michelangelo. That's just I get to teach him about some of that, and he gets to teach me about the history in Rome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is it about? I share a love of Caravaggio. What is it about Caravaggio to you?
The closer you get, I mean, you literally see you literally see the people in the shadows that are just you don't necessarily see them from a distance, but the closer you get, it was the style that he, chiaroscuro,
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah, his ability to make black,
Yeah. There's like a single light source.
Yeah.
And there's
it's
darkness
just,
kind of
it's
all
just
around
darkness,
the edges.
and then
Yeah.
people just come out of the darkness, and it's
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Yeah.
That's a great way to explain that. They do feel like some of the characters in his paintings do feel like they are emerging
Out of the darkness.
out of
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find his paintings to be very moving.
Yeah.
And the fact that a lot of them do have some sort of religious component to them.
Right.
Again, it's I can still kind of touch that part of myself inside where that spirituality kind of lives, and there are things that get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also like how he doesn't necessarily make his subjects pretty.
Yeah.
They're very gritty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just he. Even though his paintings are beautiful, there's some ugliness attached to them,
Yeah.
and I think that's nice to see.
Yeah. One of the prints of his that I have is it's the Madonna holding the baby Jesus, and then there are two, for lack of a better word, like peasants, I guess, that are kneeling in front of them, and it's framed in such a way that you can see the bottom of the peasants' feet, and they're dirty. And to me, that part of the painting is as beautiful as the Madonna and the baby Jesus.
Yeah, I agree. It's just very realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other parts of Europe have you been to?
Let's see. We've gone to London several times. That was the first place I went. We thought it would be easy, going from New York to London. London, love London, and Paris a couple of times. Went to Amsterdam. Probably need to go back to Amsterdam, and let's see, London, Paris, Rome, throughout Italy, and then we went to Turkey. Went to Istanbul, and that was a little out of our comfort level, but it was really cool to experience just a totally different culture.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see the Muslim people on the street just living life just like we do, and there's not really any reason to be scared of them, and it was just really, really cool. And the artwork there and the history there is really cool. So
that's a place that it feels just exotic enough to where I would be intimidated by it.
Right.
But I would absolutely love to go there. I mean, the history of the place, obviously.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we actually took a cooking class there, which was fun.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you learned to cook or what you cooked?
No.
What do you? I was going to ask something about food. I'm trying to think of how to. What is your favorite place as far as eating when you travel? Of the places you've gone in Europe, what has been the place with the food that you've liked the most? There we go.
Well, actually, it wasn't Europe. It was we went to Oaxaca in Mexico for Christmas one year, and the food there is incredible. All the different moles and the chilies. It was really, really just wonderful food. But other than that, we did try to go to some good restaurants in Paris. But I mean, it's like everything in Paris is steak free, which is fine. Everything in London is fish and chips, which is fine. And in Italy, just everything is good in Italy, and just the cheap table wine in Italy is incredible.
Yeah, I was explaining that to my boys the other day that we were saying about places that would be the ease of travel sometimes depends on certain things, and we were talking about how the accessibility of the food can make a place easy to travel to, and that Italy for that reason is everything is so good.
Yeah, and you said accessibility. I was thinking just the train system is just, I mean, you can just get around. You can get around the entire country so easily, and in Europe in general, everybody speaks English, and it's just super easy to get around. They're still kind of snooty about it in Paris, but they just speak English.
How do you think that you have changed as a person because you've gotten to travel so much? Like, what about traveling
Yeah.
has contributed to who you are?
Yeah. Um, well, I mean, I feel a little bit more educated because I've seen, some of this history in place, and the artwork, and the cultures. Seeing Istanbul and Rome and Naples and um, I hope it's made me a better person.
My dad, his whole life, it feels like his view of the world has just shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and
Yeah.
shrunk, and
Yeah.
I feel sad for him for that reason.
Yeah.
But I also, on the flip side of that, I feel a lot of admiration for someone like you who is, it's probably had the opposite effect.
Yeah, and nobody in my family had ever traveled like that. I mean, even I don't even think that anybody in my family has been to New York, and we try to go to New York as often as possible too. Um, and so, I mean, just the act of getting on a plane, going to just going to a big city, and just walking around and just experiencing life, you know, just on the street. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Is just something that I think everybody should experience. I used to say I think everybody should be forced to live in New York City for 1 year, just so that they can experience,
Yeah.
what public transportation is,
Mhm.
and what different ethnic restaurants, and
Having to interact with people
having
who
to
aren't
interact,
like you.
yes, and walking, 12 blocks down the street to get someplace and not batting an eyelash. It's just
Yeah.
something you do. Um, yeah,
But also being able to walk a few blocks and be in a museum that's
Yes.
got just unspeakable treasures in
Right.
it.
Yeah.
What is one place you haven't been that you'd like to go?
I've never been to Prague, um, or or Vienna, that area. I used to want to go to Greece. We've never been to Greece. Want to go to Morocco. I think that would be cool.
Oh yeah,
Um,
cool.
Again, the food.
Yeah, exactly.
And but yeah, I think that would be a good trip.
Mm-hmm. Morocco has always kind of been in my head for some reason as a place that I think would be just so
Yeah.
incredible to visit.
Yeah, and we've never had Spain on our list of places, but John last summer went to Spain for a wedding for some friends. I didn't go, and he also hooked up with some friends from college that lived there, and he had a great time. He really enjoyed it. So maybe Spain will be. Everybody wants to go to Barcelona, so maybe someday that'll be on the list.
Cool. And as gratifying as traveling can be, just kind of on its own, to be able to share it with someone who you're compatible with and who you travel
Yeah.
well with, I mean, that makes it even
Yeah,
that much more special.
yeah.
Art, thanks again for coming. I really enjoyed
you.
hearing about your travels, and I wish you safe travels in the future wherever you go. What is something that you'd like to share with us to serve as our benediction? Not to get too religious, but that's the word I choose. It's very telling that that's the word I've chosen for this segment.
Oh boy, benediction. Wow, you threw me off.
Well, it's just the source of inspiration,
Yeah.
something that you might
Yeah.
find, or that you think others might find
Yeah.
inspiring in some way.
Okay. Yeah, so I mentioned Bernini earlier, but he was the famous Baroque sculpture in I think the 1600s in Rome. And so his statues at the Vatican, his statues are all around the
little curve
the
thing.
curve thing
Mhm.
on outside, and everywhere you go, there's a famous statue of his, and there's a little museum in the Borghese Museum in Borghese Park. I don't think that's what it's called, but it features a lot of his statues, and he was just his. In my opinion, I mean, I'm certainly not an art historian or a specialist, but it seems like he changed sculpture to show real human emotions, and some of his sculptures just have such detail in their facial expressions and just their the you can see the emotions in their fingers and in their feet, and it's not again, it's not necessarily pretty, it's just very real, and I think it's the emotion that they convey, and I just feel like that it's something that everybody, especially art lovers, should get to see, get to experience, just because of the way that he conveyed those emotions through stone. I mean, it's marble.
Yeah.
So that's what I get inspired by.
That's what I was, as you were talking, I was thinking hundreds of years divide his work with your viewing it. Centuries. But he was able to convey something, as you said, through stone, to where all this time later, you are still picking up the emotion that he poured into it and the emotion that emanates from it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.